Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you.
Mary Magdalene is such a dynamic character across The Chosen. Season 4, where is she now? Because season 3 was such an evolution and there was so much grit, I suppose, to her. What's happening this time around?
Yeah, I think season 3 helped her sort of really let go of the past and start focusing on the people around her. And this season, there's more of that. She's shifting into a real observer of what's going on around her. I think she, the first 2 seasons, she was so focused on her past and her pain and her fears. In this season, she's able to really focus on Jesus and his message and what's happening. And there's so many unexpected, tragic things that happen this season. And as a group together, they all have to be there for each other. And so I think focusing less on herself and more on others I think there's no doubt that she belongs in the group now. And I think she's picking up on some subtle sort of hints of what's to come, and really becoming a little bit more thoughtful about what's happening because of Jesus.
There is something really considered about Mary's character, I think. You speak about the way she observes, and I think you do see that in her, because she becomes this confidant to a lot of people. Yeah. The ones that are unsure always seem to come to her. What is it about Mary Magdalene, you think, that compels people to approach her like that?
I think because she has such a challenging background, a challenging history. She's gone through so much. She's seen through so much. And she has experienced real darkness in a way that she's really, what I like about her, she's non-judgmental about anything. She's sort of seen it all. And because of that, there's sort of a humility of like, you could come to her with anything, and judgment is the last thing that's going to happen. So I think it's that. I think that she isn't shocked by anything and is herself going through the process of understanding exactly what has happened to her and what is happening to everyone, and realizing that there's something just so special that is occurring. So yeah, I think a lot of fans have reached out to her. She's a relatable character. They're like, that's me. And I think people who have gone through darkness can appreciate the light so much more because of that. There's a gratitude that comes from that. And I think she represents that.
Right. And what is it about her relationship to Jesus, you think, that has allowed her to get to that place, to maybe step past shame and start to see the value of her experiences?
He's seen her at her worst a few times. I think in season 2 of her sort of having this relapse and going back to what was familiar to her, and coming back and apologizing to him, and him still loving her unconditionally and being patient with her of like, you don't have to be perfect right now. You don't have to, you think you're never going to sin again. Like, you're only human, and I love you anyway. And that God just wants your heart. What a wonderful place to start. Just share your heart. And I think knowing that he loves her no matter what is a really beautiful place for her to know that she doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
It's less about like trying to please and more about just knowing there is real love there.
And as the seasons continue, we know we're getting ever closer to Jesus' crucifixion, to this real climax moment of the story of the show. How is that affecting everyone on set, the characters themselves? What's that like for you guys?
I think there's this parallel that's happening where as we're getting closer, we're also realizing we're getting closer to the end of the show, which means that we won't get to work together, that this journey is going to come to an end at some point. And I think because of that parallel, we're all, every little moment's becoming more meaningful, knowing that there is an end in sight. Like, everything is becoming more special, and also knowing that it's getting, especially this season and onward, like it's dark, it's getting dark. We're all very cognizant of keeping each other in good spirits and finding the levity and joy any chance we can. And just really being there for each other, which, this group does so well. But yeah, I think it's a sort of appreciation that we're finding with each other.
What does an off day look like from The Chosen then?
Sleeping. No.
Lots of sleeping, lots of putting your feet up. But is there a way you get some downtime away from the intensity of it?
I mean, our weekends are free, and this season there's a lot of like day to day. We're filming a lot. Season 3, I had like a few days here, a few days there, but this season is it sort of makes you just practical on the days off of just like what you need to get done, meal prepping, exercise if you can do it, all the things. You really, I mean, I don't know about everyone. You sort of live for the show in your off time. You're really thinking about, how I'm going to feel tomorrow if I eat this pizza versus the salad. Like, it's little things that you're just like sort of always focused on trying to make this show, as and getting into the character as easy as possible.
It sounds like for everyone that's part of the series, there is a relationship you have to the characters as much personally as when you're bringing them to screen, right? Like your life behind the scenes does kind of bond with the character that you play on screen. How has playing Mary Magdalene affected you?
I feel like every season there's new growth in her, and so by proxy, I feel like I get to grow alongside her. She teaches me things the way they've written her journey. I'm learning, sort of new things about myself, and she's a really good example of like what it looks like to mature in real time. And it's been nice to have that as almost a role model of growing and letting go of your past and moving forward and seeing a sort of new purpose in life and new meaning in life. And this season especially, she's so much less focused on herself, and I'm like, that's lovely. I want that. I want to do that. So it's a nice parallel.
What do you hope fans take away from season 4?
There is always going to be darkness in this world. There's always going to be pain and tragedy, and and you have to fight for the light. You have to. Otherwise, it's just that. Otherwise, it's just darkness. And those are the times when you need the light the most, and to always seek it.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're not in Cana anymore, is what I keep thinking. Like it's hold on for the ride. It's going to be something else. It's exciting, and I think it's going to shake a few people up.
They say the struggle is real. I say the struggle reveals how you deal with the monster that's inside you. I don't buy into the luck. I put my faith and my trust in my team, everything.